What I notice is that people don't. Sometimes it's a little bit strange to see people with disabilities having fun.
Welcome again to Conversas de Jardim. I'm Steven and I'm very happy to be the person to receive fascinating people in our garden. And today I'm the lucky guy in receiving Catarina Oliveira, a young woman who has also impact in Portugal.
I hope
Catarina, for everybody, I give a pair of socks.
Thank you.
And then I'm asking, what is the meaning of socks to you actually? I see it on the wears.
Yeah, I wear a small socks, not visible, but sometimes I wear colorful socks like this, but bigger. Well, for me, socks don't say a lot because I don't wear it often, but when I wear it, I think they say they are a way for me to express myself. And if I can give a quick reflection about the way that, for example, women with disabilities sometimes express in the society, not in a very fashion way, because the society doesn't see us like that. I think clothes and socks are a way for us to express, for me to express.
You're saying you put a stress like for people like me.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Which means that you're saying, oh, there is me and then there's the others.
The others.
How did you, because you went through an evolution, you have known life on 2 feet and now you see life on a wheelchair. What was the major impact for you in how people view you?
Yeah. The major impact for me were the attitudes of people towards me. Absolutely. I used to say that, normally I say that a step, it's obviously a big barrier for me because I cannot proceed with my path. But the attitudes for me are the major impact because for me, Catarina, I really just seated myself. I was for 27 years a person without disability and I walk and now I'm seated. Okay, that's a fact. But the way that I started to perceive that people perceive me was the major impact.
So what exactly was the change in perception?
Yeah. The change has a name, in fact, that is ableism. And ableism is the discrimination against people with disabilities,
okay.
Major because of the attitudes. And we are all ableist in some way because we grow in a society that is ableist. And sometimes, for example, the ableism is in small attitudes that we often confuse that with, for example, a compliment. Like, you speak too well for a person with a disability. It's like a compliment. It's not really a compliment because why should I not speak well for a person with disabilities? So it's small things like infantilization, talking to me like I'm 3 years old. Yeah. For example, I am in a bar with you and ask you what I'm going to take, or what is she going to eat, and I'm there, like we do with a child, or putting me in 2 boxes, as I normally say, the poor girl that is very poor and very miserable because she's a person with disabilities, or the superhero girl. Like everything I do is a major conquer in small things like dating, driving, working, talking with you. So it's not very easy to understand these ableist attitudes, but they have a major impact on our daily life.
How do you manage your feelings? Because, I mean, I would get revolutionary angry.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, I would probably upset so many people if they would.
Yeah.
How do you... Did you learn to manage remaining calm, or?
I deal with humor. And I deal with, and because nowadays I work with it, I try to capacitate with workshops and formations people to understand their prejudices and their bias in seeing people with disabilities. And I major deal with that with humor, trying to show people what they do to me in a light but responsible way.
Putting the mirror.
Yeah, putting the mirror like that. For example, I often talk a lot about a story that happened with me. I was in a shopping mall alone, and some old man started to pushing my wheelchair. I was thinking, oh, I'm going very fast. And I look back and it was a man pushing me, and I needed to stop and say, what are you doing? I'm alone in shopping. I came here alone. And why are you touching my wheelchair? There is an extension of my body. And he was like, oh, I was just helping you. And I was like, no, you don't do that with a person that is on her feet and push them and take them somewhere else, because I was not needing help.
Can I challenge you on that?
Yeah.
Okay. I had many surgeries on my feet, and I was about 12 months in a wheelchair. And when I was traveling the whole time, also from airport to come to Portugal, etc., etc. And on a lot of times, I was so tired. I mean, airports, it's miles until the exit, no? And sometimes they offer you the service, but sorry, there's nobody available. So you start pushing your wheelchair. I would have loved if somebody would have pushed me, even without asking, because I was dead tired in doing this for miles. So is it not always, could it also be a prejudgment in saying, don't touch me, I didn't ask you anything, while they're just trying to help?
I understand totally what you are saying, but I didn't ask for help. That's the point, because I didn't need help. I'm the first person to say, please, can you help me, because there's a step and I cannot go. The problem is that we don't see people with disabilities as people that can decide on their own lives. You see someone that has a wheelchair. I'm in a completely relaxed way, accessible way, and the person is that I want people to understand is the person feel that they own my space, and they can push my wheelchair even if I didn't ask for nothing. And if I say, thank you, I didn't ask for help, but thank you. People sometimes, oh, you don't want my help, but I didn't ask.
Yes.
And the point is, we all should help each other more, but we should hear if the other person wants our help. And we don't hear a lot of people with disabilities. Not all, but major part.
What would you say? Is that something very common, or no? How to move the Portuguese society? I can imagine that you might have a lot of comments in general about. Is it taken up? Is it taken seriously? Do people make necessary investments? How to put it on the front page?
I think with the law, the quota, I don't know how to say in English.
Yeah, quota.
Yeah, quota law. Companies and the society are a little bit with pressure to include a person with disabilities in companies, just talking about companies. I really love Portugal. I'm not like that girl that say, oh, outside it's better. No, I love my country, but I think we still have a mentality, a very paternalist,
yes.
With people with disabilities. We don't see people with disabilities as clients, as people that move the economy, that want to consume, that want to earn the money, that want to be autonomous. So I think we need to change this mentality so paternalist towards the persons with disabilities. And I think one important way of doing that is giving conditions to people with disabilities to be in the society. Because when we are on the places are forced to be accessible. Although I think that places should be accessible before we are there. But I think the major problem here in Portugal is the mentalities, because the step is made by someone. And if that someone thought about me, he or she would make the step and the ramp.
Normally they tell that when you have an occurrence, there's a refusal moment. There is a revolutionary moment of rejecting. I do not accept. And then you go into kind of some people accepting mode, or some people who go to a depression or have more difficulties. How did you manage this evolution for yourself? Did you go through the same, or you cannot say, I have humor, so I laughed with everything?
No.
That would be very difficult to
Yeah.
accept for me.
I didn't have that depression moment or that angry moment. I have like a fire in me that say this cannot be possible. How am I in a world? And I was in a world for 27 years as a person without disabilities. I was not aware of nothing. And how am I in a world that I seated myself because of a thing that happened to me in life? And sometimes I just can't be. I cannot travel in a plane comfortable because I'm always thinking if they are going to break my wheelchair. So how can that be possible? And I think I managed to transform that fire in work, in being here, doing that with you, and other things. And I think this was my way to manage it.
Yeah. When you look at your hobbies, when you were, and your hobbies now, which ones could you keep? Of course, probably hockey or football, not. But
I was a volleyball player.
Not. So, what kind of hobbies do you have now, which are different than?
About the hobbies, I really think they are the same. Just for example, volleyball. I didn't practice when I became a wheelchair user because I left volleyball. I was a volleyball player for a lot of years, and I tried volleyball seated, but I didn't like it. But I keep doing sports. I've done canoeing, adapted canoeing. I've done CrossFit, and now I work with a friend of mine that is a personal trainer, and I work home. So sports I keep doing, and I keep liking it. I just miss training my legs because I really like to train legs, and now I can't. I love traveling, and I travel a lot. I don't appreciate so much as I did when I was a person without disabilities, not because of my wheelchair, but because it's very complicated to travel as a wheelchair user. I don't know if you know, but 29 wheelchairs are broken every day by airlines companies now. So 29. This is very expensive.
When you arrive.
Like that. I think traveling, I keep doing it, but it's not so pleasant as it was because of these things. I have a little anxiety with that. What I notice is that people don't. Sometimes it's a little bit strange to see people with disabilities having fun. For example, in a disco, one girl talked to me and say, "Oh, congratulations, because you are here." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." And I provoked her a little bit. Where is supposed for me to be? Oh no, it's not like that. But because you are like that, I was not expecting for you to be here. And these things made me think. You know, yeah. But I think travel, doing sports, be with my friends, read.
When you talk with specialists and science, and which you surely do you still, or do you have hope that science will evolve so much that they could give you an answer eventually to walk again, or are they saying no?
Very interesting question. I'm because I'm in the health area too. One of my jobs is I'm a nutritionist, and I have a lot of contact with health professionals and with the professionals that are doing the job in the spinal cord injuries and the possible reversibility of the injury. And I would like to say a lot of things about this subject. First, I think I'm not going to be here to see someone with a spinal cord injury having an active life, walking again. You understand? It's not like I'm putting myself up and do like 3 steps. That's a very different thing. The spinal cord is very, very complex to make, because there are a lot of things that we need to consider, and often people don't think about that. It's very different for me to stand up again and to be productive and active as I am in a wheelchair now. So for me to be in a study like that, for example, or to be eligible to be in a study like that, normally I need to have an incomplete injury because there are some signals passing to the spinal cord. I have a complete one. Then for example, I'm 7 years from now, I'm a wheelchair user. I have friends that are for 40 years in a wheelchair. The problem of the bones, we just cannot stand up without breaking a leg because we are 40 years in a wheelchair, the problem of the muscles. And the major problem is that it's not a problem. The thing that people don't understand when they see a news of, oh, someone walk again no, someone gave some steps again, and that's very good. I hope the science keep going, but it's very different for us to be active as we are in a wheelchair on her feet. And there's another thing. I talked with someone recently that was in a study here in Portugal, not to walk again, but to try to understand the spinal cord. And he was saying to me, we need to stop our life almost, because we need to do some implants, to do a lot of rehabs, like 8 hours. I don't want to stop my life now to try to walk again. That's for sure, because I have so many things happening. I'm so realized now. So that's an important thing. People need to stop their life because they want it, and I think it's very nice. But there are a lot. It's a subject a lot of complex. But I'm a science woman, and I really believe science, and I think we are going to get there.
What is your impact you want to have in society?
I think my impact, as with the feedback that I've been receiving in my work, is that I can connect the two worlds that we were talking in the beginning, because it really happens, me and you, the persons with disabilities and the others. There is a gap here that, because of the ableism, was constructed. And my objective, and I think I'm being able to do that, is to approach those two worlds. Because I think we often talk about disability as a heavy way, as a thing that gives us guilt. This is the secret, to call the society to our cause, to our life. Because I think people with disabilities, the society, it's like the elephant in the room. We know that it's there, but we don't want to see. And I think we need to approach these worlds not with guilt, but I believe in responsibility, creating responsibility that, okay, now you know what is ableism, now you know that offend me, so try to be better or different. Better no, but different. Try to deconstruct the thoughts that you have. And
is it also the unknown? Maybe it could be also the unknown. Imagine that I invite you and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, but what will I do?
Yeah.
I mean, she has to go to the bathroom. I mean, can she go to the bathroom? I would like to invite her, but what will I do? I mean, the question of the unknown and creates like a distance, because it's going to be difficult.
Absolutely. I think it is the unknown, because I often talk, for example, with my boyfriend, and he says to me, he's a person without disability, and he says to me, now that I'm with you for like 2 years, I understand that everything is like, it's like, there are different things, because we need to, for example, find an accessible bathroom for me to go, and before he didn't think about that. But the normal life is normal, it's natural. But because we are afraid of the unknown, that's absolutely.
How to make this unknown known?
I think we need to start practicing nothing about us without us. That is a statement that is in the community of people with disabilities, that is, don't do nothing about us without us. And what we see a lot is companies, media, father and mother and grandfather doing things about persons with disabilities without them. So nothing about us without us is very important, to start knowing the unknown, because we need to know the community.
And in the same sense, but I think I will know your position if I listen to you, is it then good to talk about Cota?
Yeah. I was very against quotas when I became a person with disability. It was like, oh, they are trying to put me again in a box. I don't want that box. But it's necessary.
Yeah,
it's absolutely necessary.
I think so too.
It's a positive discrimination, as we said.
Yes.
It's a term, because it's what I say. A lot of companies, if they see 2 CVs and one is with a person with disabilities because they know, because it's there, for example, they are going to choose the other one, because they offer this disability, a lot of work, a lot of money doing that. No, the other. So I think we need Cota to be in the market, because I truly believe, and I work with a lot of companies, and what I hear the most is that when we have people with disabilities here, it's becoming much more natural for all our team to
accept and
to
work,
connect.
yeah, to work with.
And even we want to hire more people, not just people with disabilities, but we are open to hire everyone.
When you will be 122 years and 4 months, and you're laying in your bed, quite close to your last breath, what will make you happy?
Well, if I need to be more literal, I would love to be with someone that is a loved one with me in my bed. But if I want to be more holistic in the world, I really want to. I really would love to see more people with disabilities in different areas in the society. Now, in this present year, that's not possible, because we have people with disabilities that cannot study, that cannot go to the university because of lack of accessibility, not just physical, but also in attitudes. So I would really love to leave this world knowing, I think it's not going to be possible, but I would really love to leave this world knowing that, okay, if a person with disability wants to be what she wants to be, she can, because she will have a government or a state or a society that will provide them the equity that they need to be where they want to be.
Last question. What is the question I did not ask you? What is the thing in your head you're saying, Steven, this is what I wanted to say. He didn't even ask me this. I mean, this is something burning on my tongue, but he did not ask me this.
I can make you a question.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to make you a question.
Feel free.
Did something change in your mind in this conversation about the way you see people with disabilities, or you already saw people like that?
Yes, no.
Absolutely.
Not at all.
That's nice. That's very nice.
Not at all. I mean, I think that's also why inclusion is so important in the strategy of our group here. I mean, just part of our DNA and who we are, and which we want to promote, and which we have all around in the company as well. So not at all.
Yeah, nice. I'm very happy with that.
Anyway, thank you. It was very pleasant talking to you.
Me too.
I hope you will have a great impact in society to move people along, and so that one day we can just bar the word inclusion from the dictionary.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we are included.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a very nice talk.